have around 30 to 40 people. And then just adjacent to Tree of Life's service area, Congregation Dor Hadash is in the rabbi's study room, and they would have approximately 15 people in there. All of these are just off of the main entrance to the building.
We were hearing reports of people being found in an atrium and in a basement. So the atrium is just that entranceway area.
There's a common atrium area where it's a central part of the building. It leads up to the services, but oftentimes there are people milling around in that area, either going to the ladies' room, men's room, or the coat room.
If I'm a person that's walking past the corner of Wilkins and Shady at that time, can I walk in freely? Is there anyone that would greet me at the door or stop me?
Not typically. On a day like today, the door is open. It's a religious service. You could walk in and out. Only on the high holidays is there a police presence at the entrance.
You mentioned to me when you were president there, again, if you're just tuning in, you were the last president, the immediate past president. How big of a concern was security for you?
It was a major concern for me, for us. We were working with the Department of Homeland Security to evaluate exit routes. I just spoke to our maintenance person who was able to get out because the doors were easily opened from the inside to allow him to get out of the building. But it was a major focus working with Brad Orsini at the Jewish Federation. He's a securities expert, what to do in an active shooter situation, active shooter training. We were working with the other synagogues on what to do if something horrific like this happened.
Who else have you talked to that was inside at the time of the shooting, and what have they told you so far?
The main person, the one person that I did speak to, I know really well, the Augie, the maintenance person, one of our maintenance people there. He's been there 25 years. He is usually a very cool and collected person. He was shaken. He saw one of our congregants down. But he knew he was in the bathroom, and he was able to get out of the building again because these exit doors were working well. And I just can't tell you how thankful I am just to have do that one piece of one task that Homeland Security told us to do.
Because in the past, you couldn't push through the exit doors?
They weren't easily opened, and they had safeties on them so that they couldn't open either way. But now he was able to get out. I mean, he could be alive because of this.
Where were you when you found out that this had occurred?
I was heading up to the service. I'm there. I was there last night for a service. I go up there around 10 o'clock in the morning, and one of the vice presidents that I work with on facilities now that I stepped down, he called me. He works for the city emergency management, and he said he just got word that there's an active shooter at Tree of Life. Go up there and see if this is true. And I tried to get up. I only live a block away from the synagogue, and I tried to get up Shady Avenue, and it was police cars everywhere. There were guns drawn, rifles. I was surreal.
We first thought it was a drill. Whenever it came over the police scanner, we thought we couldn't even believe it. Have you heard about any people that were victims inside their positions, or if you knew of them?
No, I'm sure. I know everyone there. I know everybody in the building. I know that this. I almost don't want to know, but I have to know the tragedy that occurred inside.
What have you been talking with the other people that are past presidents or in a position of power within the Jewish community here in Squirrel Hill? What has everyone been saying to you?
Well, I mean, all we had up till now is I called all the, tried to call a lot of, I couldn't reach, but the other past presidents. I spoke to the current president, but we were all either not in the area or we were en route and we just couldn't get in there. I mean, I was walking, like I said, I was walking up Shady, and all of a sudden just hear these shouts from the police officers, just get out of here. You knew it was not a drill.
Had you ever had issues in the past with people coming in, people that were suspicious in any way or did anything that it caused you to be concerned?
No, we've never had any threats. I will tell you, I've always had a very watchful eye because of what's going on in the current climate. You know, you see these bombs being mailed across the country, and our security was really just that nobody's ever tried. You know, it was just the fact that nobody ever tried to do anything because, you know, like most religious institutions, we have an open door.
I asked the CEO of the Jewish Federation the same question I'll ask you. Can you describe for people that are watching that aren't from Pittsburgh, that don't know Squirrel Hill, what this means for the Squirrel Hill community, that they would be targeted in this manner?
It just means that moving forward, this is a real occurrence and that we need to learn from this. And you want to be proactive and do things in light of this happening. It will be a catalyst for more security in the future, I'm sure, across all congregations, all religious institutions, because this is reality.
But you're glad if you hadn't done that one thing, which many would think is a simple security measure, who knows how many people use those exit doors to get out.
Right. It was something that I was listening to the walkthrough. I was listening to the Homeland Security experts. And a lot of this comes down to ability to afford security. But to free up a door many times is free. Just use it. And it doesn't cost anything. And we did it. And a guy that we love in the congregation, you know, Augie, it could very well be alive because of it. Because when he went to use that door, he got out of the building.
And he was not in the basement. Are there ways to get out of the basement?
There are, yeah. Yes, there are. And a New Light congregation who their New Light sanctuary is in the lower floor of the building. They know the route to get out.
What's next for you?
Next for me is going to be more training, saying this. It's not that when I would get up as president in front of leadership and say this could happen. Now it's like this did happen. We have to put forth efforts to secure our building, and all the other leaderships across Squirrel Hill and probably across the country are going to have to do the same.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Thank you. All right, we're going to send it back to you guys.